Have you ever felt invisible, judged, or dismissed simply because of who you are? It's a gut punch, isn't it? That sinking feeling when someone makes an assumption about you, based on nothing but their own narrow perceptions. Today, we're going to share a story about a moment like that. A moment of profound disrespect that, surprisingly, led to a powerful ripple effect of change and justice. This isn't just one man's experience. It's a reflection of a pervasive societal issue that many have faced, and it's a testament to the quiet power of standing up for oneself. Stay with us as we uncover how a seemingly small moment can reveal a much larger truth. What happens when an encounter designed to empower turns into a public display of disrespect? Robert Evans knew the feeling. A distinguished retired educator with a lifetime of imparting knowledge and fostering respect, Robert always carried himself with quiet dignity. He'd seen a lot in his 60-odd years, but nothing quite prepared him for the morning he walked into Liberty Financial. He was there for a routine meeting, setting up a new investment account, a modest but important step in his retirement planning. The lobby was all polished marble and hushed tones, the air thick with the scent of ambition and money. Robert approached the desk, offering a polite smile to the receptionist. "I have an appointment with Mr. Anderson Price," he announced, his voice clear and calm. Moments later, a man in a sharp suit emerged, a slick smile plastered across his face. This was Anderson Price, a senior manager, known for his aggressive targets and even more aggressive demeanor. But as his eyes swept over Robert, the smile faltered, replaced by a subtly condescending expression. "Mr. Evans?" Anderson's tone was curt, almost dismissive. "ID, please." Robert reached into his wallet, producing his state ID. Anderson took it, his fingers barely brushing Robert's. And then, in a move that seemed almost deliberately theatrical, he tossed it onto the polished marble counter. It skittered across the surface, coming to rest near Robert's elbow. Robert felt a wave of shock, quickly followed by a searing humiliation. He looked at Anderson, his brow furrowed in disbelief. "Is there a problem, Mr. Price?" he asked, his voice steady despite the tremor of indignation within him. Anderson leaned forward slightly, his eyes cold. "Look, Mr. Evans, we're a premier financial institution. We have a certain client profile, and frankly," he paused, letting his gaze sweep over Robert's simple, well-maintained clothes, "you don't exactly fit the mold. I'm not sure this is the right place for you." The words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken prejudice. It wasn't just rudeness. It was an insidious sting, a judgment based on nothing but appearance and assumption. Robert, a man who had guided countless young minds, who had always preached the importance of character over superficiality, found himself on the receiving end of such blatant disrespect. The initial surge of disbelief slowly transformed into a quiet, simmering anger. This wasn't just about his dignity. It was about the insidious nature of implicit bias and its real-world impact. How many others had faced this casual cruelty? He picked up his ID, his movements slow and deliberate. He looked Anderson dead in the eye. "Thank you for your time, Mr. Price," he said, his voice low, "but I believe I've heard all I need to hear." He turned and walked out, leaving Anderson standing there, a smirk still playing on his lips. Robert's walk home was punctuated by a rising tide of indignation. He replayed the scene, the casual cruelty, the dismissive tone. It wasn't just a bad customer service experience. It was a deeper wound. He felt the sting of an undeserved slight, not just for himself, but for what it represented in a world that still struggled with fundamental fairness. See how microaggressions can lead to macro consequences. Little did Anderson know, his disdain wasn't just directed at a single man, but unknowingly, at a powerful connection that would soon shake his entire world. Imagine the fury and resolve that ignites when a child witnesses their parent being disrespected. For Emily Evans, that fury was a controlled inferno. She was in a high-stakes board meeting, the CEO of InnovateX Solutions, a tech firm she'd built from the ground up into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. Her company was on the cusp of signing a landmark deal with Liberty Financial, a deal that would solidify InnovateX's position as a market leader and bring Liberty Financial unprecedented prestige. Her phone buzzed. It was her father. She excused herself, stepping into the hushed executive lounge. "Dad, is everything okay?" Her father rarely called during her work hours unless it was important. Robert recounted the morning's events, his voice calm, but Emily could hear the underlying tremor of hurt and frustration. He described Anderson Price, the Throne ID, the condescending words. As her father spoke, Emily's calm, professional demeanor began to crack. A wave of righteous anger washed over her. Her father, a man of such integrity and kindness, subjected to such demeaning treatment? It wasn't just an insult, it was a violation. Her hand instinctively tightened around her phone. Her protective instincts, usually reserved for navigating complex business negotiations, were now laser-focused on her father. He said, "I didn't fit the client profile," Robert finished, a touch of weariness in his voice. Emily closed her eyes, taking a slow, deep breath. "Dad," she said, her voice low and steady, "I'm so sorry that happened to you. No one deserves to be treated like that." Her mind, even in its anger, was already racing, connecting the dots. Liberty Financial, Anderson Price, the very bank her company was about to sign a $5 billion deal with. The irony was suffocating. "What are you going to do?" Robert asked, a hint of concern in his voice, as if he worried she might escalate things unnecessarily. "I'm going to make sure this never happens to anyone else at Liberty Financial, Dad," Emily replied, her voice firm, resolute. This wasn't just about her father. It was a statement. A company that allowed such systemic prejudice did not deserve InnovateX's business. Integrity, for Emily, wasn't just a buzzword. It was a foundational principle. She ended the call, her mind ablaze with purpose. The board meeting could wait. Her father's dignity and the integrity of her company's partnerships could not. Witness the power of family bonds in the face of adversity. Emily's resolve wasn't just an emotional response. It quickly transformed into a strategic and calculated decision that would send ripples through the corporate world. What happens when casual prejudice meets professional accountability? For Anderson Price, it was a swift and brutal unraveling. He continued his day at Liberty Financial, basking in his self-importance, oblivious to the seismic shift he had just set in motion. He even chuckled to himself about the old man who didn't know his place. Meanwhile, Emily Evans was in full CEO mode, but with a deeply personal drive. Her first call wasn't her legal team, but to her father. She asked for every detail, every nuance of his encounter with Anderson. Then, she mobilized her internal teams. "Find me everything on Anderson Price," she instructed her head of corporate intelligence. "Social media, professional history, any complaints, any internal communications, anything." Robert, initially hesitant to pursue further action, understood Emily's conviction. He provided what he could, trusting his daughter's judgment. He recounted specific phrases Anderson used, the way he threw the ID, small details that, when combined with Emily's corporate resources, became powerful evidence. What they uncovered was shocking, yet disturbingly familiar. Digging through online archives and discreetly leaked internal emails, a whistleblower with a conscience, they found a pattern. Anderson Price wasn't just having a bad day. He had a history. There were veiled discriminatory comments on his old LinkedIn posts, jokes in internal chat forums that hinted at his biases, and even a couple of hushed-up complaints from junior staff members who had felt slighted but never had the power to act. He was a master of subtle, insidious prejudice, often just skirting the line of direct actionable offense, making it hard to pin down. Until now, armed with this damning evidence, Emily called the CEO of Liberty Financial directly. The conversation was brief, polite, and utterly uncompromising. Emily outlined her father's experience, presented the meticulous evidence of Anderson's systemic bias, and then, calmly, stated the inevitable. InnovateX Solutions was pulling its $5 billion deal. The CEO of Liberty Financial, A seasoned executive who understood the catastrophic financial and reputational fallout of losing such a client didn't hesitate. Within hours, Anderson Price was summoned to an emergency meeting. He stammered, he denied, he tried to justify his actions, but the evidence was irrefutable. His arrogance quickly dissolved into desperation. He was fired on the spot. The news, though not fully public, spread like wildfire through the financial district's tight-knit circles. Anderson Price's reputation was irrevocably damaged. His network, once a source of pride, evaporated. He became a pariah, unable to find similar employment in the industry he once so arrogantly dominated. His once promising career, built on a foundation of prejudice, had unraveled completely. Robert felt a quiet sense of vindication, not gloating, but a deep satisfaction that justice had been served. Emily experienced relief and pride in her father and a professional affirmation that standing up for values can yield powerful results. Learn how integrity can dismantle even the most entrenched biases. While Anderson's downfall was swift, the story doesn't end there. It's a testament to new beginnings and the lasting impact of courage. From adversity, new doors open, and a powerful legacy is built. The fallout from the Liberty Financial incident was significant, but not for Robert and Emily. InnovateX Solutions quickly pivoted, signing an even larger, more beneficial contract with Gateway National Bank, a financial institution known for a commitment to diversity and inclusion. It was a clear message. Integrity pays off, both morally and financially. But the story of Robert Evans didn't end with Anderson Price's downfall. His experience ignited a new purpose. Emily, recognizing his wisdom and resilience, asked him to become a strategic advisor for InnovateX Solutions. In this new role, Robert leveraged his lifetime of experience, particularly his recent ordeal, to mentor young entrepreneurs. He focused especially on those from underrepresented backgrounds, guiding them through the often unseen challenges of systemic bias and discrimination in the corporate world. He became a beacon of hope and a fount of practical advice, using his own journey to empower others. Robert Evans, once dismissed as not fitting a client profile, was now shaping the future of a major corporation, ensuring that dignity and respect were not just buzzwords, but lived values. He shared his story quietly but powerfully, reminding everyone that while prejudice can be a heavy burden, standing tall against it can open doors to unimagined possibilities. His journey underscored the enduring value of respect, resilience, and the ripple effect of standing up for what's right. If Robert and Emily's story resonated with you, hit the like button and share this video to spread the message of dignity and resilience. And to dive deeper into how individuals can overcome systemic barriers, watch our next video, where we explore actionable strategies for fostering inclusive environments in the workplace.